Ladies and gentlemen, Zo What Morning Show back in the building for part 2. We got another heat rock. We got different guests, same guests. We got a whole nother get down. So I'm going to ratchet through these book selections very, very quickly. But before I do, let me give you the number to dial to participate. It's important that you participate because this is the talk show that listens. The philosopher, Zoe Williams, the doctor is in the building, Dr. Mark Goulston, as well as the comedian, Geoff Brown. 323-965-1600 is the number to dial and participate. Today's topic, the relationship myth show. What do I mean by the relationship myth? A lot of people, or the good relationship myth, a lot of people have an idea or a concept about what they think makes a good relationship. I'm here to challenge those beliefs that maybe some of those beliefs are probably negative and are the sole cause and reason for why your relationship isn't working. Old beliefs that are antiquated and ideas that don't work anymore. You know, we're evolving and changing as a race and a culture and people. So maybe some of the things that we thought built a good relationship are actually counterproductive for good relationship building. The Good Relationship Myth Show. We're going to talk about all the things that are now moving into myth, ideas about relationship. Like, can a single woman raise a great young man? A lot of people think that at a certain point, got to let that boy go. Somebody got to surround him with somebody. Can a woman do it? I believe she can. I don't know. Somebody call me right now, 323-965-1600. Now that you know what the topic is, let me get right into my book selections. I'm going to roll through these quick. I know a lot of people want me to slow down, but it is video. You can rewind. Here we go. First book. This is a great book by Napperstack. That's the author's name. I bought it in 2008. I read it about 3 or 4 times. I even let my son read it. It's called Your Sixth Sense. This is why I have a lot of psychics and people on the show, because I believe that everyone has an innate ability to tap into an intuitive power. This book shows you how to develop that intuitive power. Your Sixth Sense. I know people love the book, so let's keep it going. Also, I'm a big fan, and this is what's crazy about Ozo. I can argue for and against both astrology and numerology. And I love to be able to have the counter argument as well as the pro argument, the con and the pro argument. But here's a great book. Good guy. Came on my show at least 3 or 4 times on the Foxhole. His name is Lloyd Strayhorn, considered the #1 numerologist in the world. A brother out of New York. His book is called Numbers and You, a numerology guide for everyday living. Lloyd Strayhorn. Harness the power of numbers. When you were born, the date of your birthday, how your name and date and month and year all add up to a particular kind of number. It's crazy. Check it out. Boom. This is what I give my son. He has a game today, by the way. State championship bound Santa Monica High School. These guys are going in. This is the 3rd round. They're playing against a tough team. He called me today on his way to school and said, Dad, which chapter of this book should I read to prepare for the game? I'm going to tell you what this book is right now. The 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class. The Thought Process, Habits, and Philosophies of the Great Ones by Steve Seibold. 3rd edition. You got to get this book. This is what I got my son reading right now. What the world class are saying about the 177 mental toughness secrets. Incredible book. Great book. Run through it quick. Don't forget to get my book. Please don't forget to get my book, The Rebirth of Seeds. You can email me at 2319 Z as in zebra, O as in Oscar, 1 at gmail.com. I will send you a personal autographed, signed copy. Just get at me and let me know what the deal is. Another great book. I told you guys a little while ago about this author, Robert Anton Wilson. This guy's incredible. He wrote the book Prometheus Rising. A lot of you guys are out there getting it right now. This book right here, Quantum Psychology. He goes through the whole breakdown of the different schools of psychology. And now, when you read this book in conjunction with the Prometheus Rising book, you'll be able to have a better reading on the people that are around you, the particular thought process. He goes into something called transactional psychology, and he talks about, and I can even ask the doctor about this, but he talks about how people have different kinds of scripts running in their mind, whether it's a loser script or a winner script or a depression script. I mean, it's a very heavy, heavy book. Check it out. Quantum Psychology. I read it 4 or 5 times. It's awesome. Now, a lot of people are having a problem with Jesus and Neo and all of these superheroes, but this guy right here, I mean, if it wasn't for this gentleman right here, George Lucas couldn't have done Star Wars. He was able to get a bevy of historical archetypal history from Joseph Campbell. This book right here, The Hero with 1,000 Faces. He goes through every culture and shows that there is a through line, a similarity of the hero. He just wears a different mask for each culture. Very incredible book. Joseph Campbell, if you're not hip to Joseph Campbell, your life should end tomorrow. Anyway, check it out. Great book, great work. Got another one for the people who are anti, magnetic relationship or is it law of attraction? A lot of people out there, you don't attract, your experience. Yeah, you do. Great book. Magnetic Partners. Discover how the hidden conflict that once attracted you to each other is now driving you apart. Great book. I always say relationship is a classroom that you never graduate from, and the curriculum is specifically designed for you. It's not a playhouse so you guys can go have fun for the rest of your life. It just doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. Now, next book, history lesson, Egypt Revisited, Ivan van Sertima. You want to know your history? Get this book. Breaks down the whole historical journey of Egypt, where everything was stolen, where everything was lost. Ivan van Sertima. Get this book. Don't play yourself. Now, again, told you, I got books on astrology, the whole 9. This astrology book, the new astrology book, a unique synthesis of the world's 2 great astrological systems, the Chinese and the Western, put together. It will give you your Chinese zodiac as well as your Western zodiac and break down all of the nuances and similarities between the other signs. It is incredible. Check it out. And now on to my co-host, his books. Whew. You already know about Just Listen, and you already know about Real Influence, Dr. Mark Goulston. But did you know the 6 secrets of a lasting relationship? How to Fall in Love Again and Stay There by Dr. Mark Goulston and Philip Goldberg. Check him out. That's the end of the book selection. This is what I'm going to do right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, introductions of the guests who are in the building. Zoe What Morning Show. We are in here. Topic is going to be crazy. The Good Relationship Myth Show. I'll be back at 2.2. Zoe Williams, I'm out. Excellent. Ready. Woo! That is delicious. That track is awesome.
Oh my God.
Welcome back to the Zoe What Morning Show, the good relationship myth show. A lot of people out there think they know what makes a good relationship. And I beg to differ. I think you got a lot of antiquated beliefs out there that are actually preventing you from having great relationships. Call us right now, 323-965-1600. Let me do this really quickly. Our homegirl, producer, intern. She is an adult now. She had a birthday yesterday. She's on fire. Back in the building. Chuck Doe. Welcome, birthday girl. Everybody send shouts out to her. What's your Twitter page or what's your Facebook page? She shut her
I have
Facebook.
Twitter at Chuck Doe, and then I also have a YouTube stream that's Chuck Doe channel.
Happy birthday, Chuck.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Wow.
birthday.
Thank you.
Absolutely. She's a producer. She's an intern. She's on deck with us right now. We really love you and we appreciate all the things you do behind the scene that keeps us on point. Thank you, Chuck Doe.
Love you
And
guys
happy
too.
birthday. Thank you.
Thank
now,
you.
let's get to it. Wait, before I do this, there's one final book that I didn't. She's on our show right now. She's a guest. She's back. 4 rules you never knew you needed to conquer your woman. Should we still be trying to conquer her? 323-965-1600. The Caveman Formula by D.T. Linda Gross. You gotta get this book. You gotta participate. This is what I need you to do. Now, let's get into this topic. I'm going to ask a series of questions. But before I do, I'm going to introduce some folks. Back in the building for another round of Let's Blame It on the Woman. It's her fault that all of this shit is out of pocket. None other than director, producer, author, speaker, downright irritable curmudgeon, Tim Alexander, back in the building. What up, Tim? Welcome back.
Hi, yeah, it's me. I don't know if I fully agree with the way you introduced me, but hey, I'm cool.
Hey, you don't have to agree. Just be you, and we'll see.
Be me. All right. Now, I'm really getting everybody in honor of you. I'm gonna get in it. All right.
Hey,
so here we
man,
go.
I appreciate having you back. You do have an informed perspective and opinion, and that's why I have you here. Also, sitting right next to the brother, I just mentioned her book, The Caveman Formula, 4 Rules You Never Knew You Needed to Conquer Your Woman. Linda Gross. Linda Gross, really quickly, give us the first 2 rules that we never knew we needed to lock her ass down. Go.
Confidence, number 1. That's the number 1 thing that women want.
Wait a minute. We knew that.
Oh, we knew that.
We knew that.
I
Give
knew
us
Good.
that. I know some ugly dudes, the ugliest work boots, and they can't keep women off them with a taser and a riot shield because they're confident.
Right. Well,
Ugly as
let's
work
define
boots.
confidence, because there's people have a lot of different meanings with that. So what it doesn't mean being the player, the cheater, the arrogant, the bastard, the cocky. Doesn't mean that. Those are all fake versions of confidence. We're going to get you down for real. How to do it for real.
Wow,
And
wow.
real is with integrity, with honor, with power, with that manhood power.
Wow,
It's a
wow.
quiet confidence.
Wow. It's command versus demand.
There you go.
Indeed. Give us another DT. Let's go.
Number 2 rule is connect with her. So what that means is find something in common with her. So if you're at a club, you're listening to live music, whatever. Have you been to this? Have you seen this band before? And that kind of thing. So find things that you have in common that overlap, because that makes people feel connected and wanted and listened to.
Wow.
And that's what she wants.
Wow. Can we get another, just one more tip? I just
Boy, you're
like
going to
where
let
you're
them
going.
let them go all the way out the gate.
Not
right?
all of them, but just give us one more. Jesus.
Okay. The third tip is caring. You have to give a rip. If you don't give a rip, it's the wrong woman.
Are you saying
dump
men
that date.
typically don't give a rip?
Oftentimes they don't.
Wow. Maybe that's how we
Because-
protect ourselves from the evil woman.
Well, you
323-965-1600. That's the number to dial.
You're there to get what you want, but that doesn't mean you care about her.
Ah,
See
Very
that?
good point. Very good point. I love what she's doing. She's the author of The Caveman Formula, 4 Rules You Never Knew You Needed to Conquer Your Woman, Linda Gross. Again, doesn't sound very caveman to me. Sounds Renaissance man-like to me. Let's do it this way. We've got Dr. Mark Goulston and Geoff Brown in the building. Welcome to the show, fellas. How you guys feeling? What's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm pissed off at Fossil right now because I keep sending this damn watch back and they keep fucking it up.
Okay. Doc, how you doing? How you been?
I'm doing great. Back from D.C. I was there last week, and great to be back in the building, and can hardly wait to find out what we all talk about.
Oh, okay. Well, this is, the topic, and our final guest, who's just walked in and very deliciously put together. We love her. We love her dearly. We wish we could love her even more.
He's silly, though.
I'm just saying. She's in the building. C Murder.
Hey,
you
guys.
know her as many. She's got rap names, C Dot. She's got foxhole gangster names, C Murder. And she's also known as Claudia Jordan. She's a model. She's a spokesperson, television personality, radio personality. She's even an author. She's an all-around Renaissance woman.
Yes.
Back in the building for yet another installment of the Zoe What Morning Show. Claudia Jordan, welcome to the show, honey.
Hey, apologies for being late. I don't feel good.
No apologies necessary. Just long as you're here, we appreciate it. The Good Relationship Myth Show. What does that mean? Don't we have some misnomers about what makes a good relationship? I've got questions. And once I go to these questions, then I'm going to throw it to the panel. Phone callers. Call us right now, 323-965-1600. That's the number to dial. With the advent of higher education and advanced employment, are women going to have to recontextualize the expectations of male provision? You know how women always say, I want a provider. I want a provider. He has to provide. Now, if women are better educated and making more money, is provision of finances, of fiduciary responsibility, has that got to be recontextualized? Do women with money need more than that? Or is that off the table? Somebody call me right now, 323-965-1600. That's the number to dial. It's crazy concept. I got more questions. Hold on. This is going to be crazy.
I got a B question for that money question.
You want a B question? Go ahead. I'll give you that.
Okay. If the dollar were to collapse, how would you judge a man?
Oh, that's a great question. 323-965-1600. That's the number to dial.
By how many bananas he brought me.
There you go.
Woo!
All right.
He's now back to...
bananas on the tree.
Yeah, he's a forager now.
Ain't nobody telling him he can't get the bananas. Ain't nobody in front of the tree. Ain't nobody lying to him and going, you know what, we're going to give you a chance to get these bananas. You know what, when Geoff comes back for the bananas tomorrow.
Here we go. Call us, too, if you think you have identified some good relationship myths in your own thought process. Regarding gender roles, is knowing one's place, woman, still relevant when it comes to relationship building? Are specified gender roles becoming obsolete? 323-965-1600. Somebody got to call me right now. Here's another relationship, or supposed relationship myth. If you agree or disagree, fact or fiction, call us. Let us know. 323-965-1600. A good relationship means that you don't have to work at it. Most people already know you got to bust your ass in order to have a good relationship. But how do you bust your ass? Is there a physical ass busting going on? What do we have to do to build meaningful, positive relationships? Do relationships begin and end with belief systems? Somebody call us and let us know what you think. Panel, I've wet the whistle. What do you think? Claudia Jordan's up first to bat. Let's go.
Which question? Jesus Christ. Bananas and you have to have money. I mean, goddamn. Okay, the money thing, since that was a carryover from last time. And
Indeed.
It spilled over onto Facebook.
Yes.
I look at it like kind of in a fair way. Like if I was dating a millionaire or someone that was really rich and could provide for me, I would feel still like a bum not bringing anything to the table. And I was in that situation before where my career wasn't popping. I was with a guy that made a lot of money. I felt not worthy. I felt like I wanted to still carry some weight. Yeah, you can put my little thing with yours, but it did not let me off the hook to feel like, you got it, we good, because I feel like he would look at me and lose respect. Even though I'm a woman and he's a man and he has a provider role, I still want to bring something. It makes me feel good about me. As the same way I would expect my man, if I'm the one bringing home the money, I would think he would still feel good about himself if he was bringing in something, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No judgment. Doc?
I think it's sad, but whoever earns the money, so if women earn more money now, they've earned the right to being respected and appreciated. Now, they should be respected and appreciated even if they don't make the money. But I think now that they're making money, I think that's something that they have earned the right to. What's sad is if you're raised in the family or you're spending more time at home, you really deserve a lot more respect and appreciation for that. But unfortunately, that gets taken for granted because everyone's scared about money, and I think.
So can we have great relationships in a fear-based society? Go deeper.
No, I think when people are afraid, they come from something is missing. And so when you come from something is missing in your life, you're always grabbing, grasping. And there's a saying, I'm sure one of you probably know the origin of it, but love is a verb. It's not what you get, it's what you give. Ooh. And I think when you're afraid, you feel like something's missing, and so there's nothing to give, and you're always trying to get.
In pursuit of, yes?
That's right, and you can be very grabby. And I think the key is how can you come from a place where you feel abundant? There's a wonderful pastor I know named Jimmy Bart over at Thad's on Sundays. It's a wonderful church. And one of the things he says that really struck me is he said, God, in God's eyes, we are already complete, but it can take a lifetime for us to realize it.
Ooh, damn.
And when you feel complete, then you're able to actually give. But a lot of people are running around focusing on what's missing. When they focus on what's missing, they don't come from a very good place.
Wow. Love it. Tim Alexander.
What's up?
You're up to bat.
Oh, what's up, Tim?
Go deeper.
Hey, how are you?
Hi. He's photographed me back in the day.
Well, you know where I'm going to go. We have to look at what changed in society. And, I don't feel like it's really time for me to say what I have to say yet. I'll warm up to it. Let me listen to a little more where you guys are going.
Chicanery merchant?
You know what? I'm going to hold back. I want to listen, see what's going on.
I don't want you to hold back.
You don't want me to hold back?
That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here. Okay.
You will not disrespect your station. Go deeper.
How you gonna tell Kobe? Hey man, Kobe gonna say, "Hey, I can't play for another 12 minutes." I'm gonna win the thing in the
last quarter. Okay. Anyway, there's basically everything comes down to just still anger, and the anger came from a shift in society's mindset, and when we devalue traditional gender roles, we change the course of society for the rest of eternity. And there's some things that seem better, but when you really analyze it critically, very little is better.
Give me an example.
Well, I'll give you an example.
Stop beating around the bush.
I'll give you an example. The black family is worse off today than it was in the 60s.
Absolutely.
According to a report released by the Urban Institution, the state of the African American family is worse than it was in the 60s. In 1950, only 17% of African American children lived in a home with a single mother and not a father. Now, in some urban areas, that's increased to 90%. Only in 1965, only 8% of children were born out of wedlock. 8%. Now, the figures are between 72 and 76%, depending on where you look.
It's a damn shame.
That's not good.
Right.
Fatherless children don't have the same psychological and mental and emotional stability as children with two parents.
That's all agreed, but who are you blaming?
Well, if you want to get back to it, what changed from 1960 to 1970 until the early 70s? The second wave of feminism came in.
So you're saying feminism implanted a belief in women that they could do it without a man. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. I'm going to read something very, very, very fast, written by a black woman, not me. And she said it started in the 70s with feminism encouraging women to leave behind their roles as wives to pursue what they called their dreams. The media started pumping out the ideas of climbing the corporate ladder and outdoing boys in every facet as the only way to call yourself a real woman. They taught that being a supportive wife meant that you were oppressed. Gone was the message about equal access to education and employment, which was great, and now it was replaced with the men are the enemy propaganda, and in order to achieve, you must overpower men. Unity was gone because no matter what the man said, she said he was wrong and not respecting her. Was he really disrespecting her? In most cases, no. So what you get in the 70s and 80s is a high rate of out-of-wedlock births and a very high rate of divorces. The children of the 70s and 80s were raised by single mothers or blended families with step-parents and step-siblings. So these kids were brought up in a society where family dissolvement and separation was the norm. So what happens when they grow up? They come to expect the same in their own lives, and thus by expecting it, they create it.
Wait a minute. Are you reading?
I actually am reading this particular one.
Wow.
He was reading someone else's article.
I'm reading this particular
So,
one, but it collaborates what I say, and this is a woman that was saying this. I wanted to just,
Right.
let
So
people know that this is not just my opinion. If you look around, you can find a lot of people who are saying the same thing.
But let me pose this, and Claudia Jordan, being an independent woman herself, maybe can corroborate this.
You know what?
Women-
Before you go further, I can take it one step back. Okay, yes, they were
DT,
having
Linda Gross, just
yes,
interrupted
they
me.
were
Go
having
deeper.
children out of wedlock. But I'm going to give you the why. You
Why?
ready for this?
Yes, why?
Lyndon Baines Johnson
BJ, come on.
wanted to get reelected, so he bought your vote. And he created all these social programs, and one of the social programs were, we're going to give you welfare money
Kick your man out.
and kick your man off kick your man out. If you are unmarried, you will get more of a financial benefit. If you pop out more kids,
We give you more
will
money.
give you more money. And there were a lot of people that
That bought
needed
into that, right.
that literally bought into that. They needed that money, so they made that vote, and he enacted those programs, and that was the start of it. A few years later, 1969, the invention of the pill gave way to women being able to control their bodies and deciding if they were going to continue
But
on to
shouldn't
school
women be
or
able
go
to
work.
control their bodies? Is that a bad idea? Claudia Jordan.
Of course not.
No, we need that. We need that.
You should be able to control your own body, right?
I know, but
Absolutely.
before the pill, they didn't have that technology. They didn't have that ability.
And the pill wasn't popular right away until many years later.
Right, early 70s.
There's a way to control unwanted pregnancies. Stop fucking dudes that you don't want babies from.
There you
That's
go.
a great
Bareback.
That's
How about
a,
that?
Yeah,
We'll
run it-
never stop doing that. Not as
Yeah.
long as the music
Yeah.
videos make them look so darn sexy.
But you know
Great
what,
way,
though?
man.
Don't blame the music videos
Claudia, don't-
only, solely.
No, that's
But
right.
He going right at Claudia's neck. But let me just do this.
I don't do videos, honey. I'm
Indeed.
network TV, bitches. Okay. Google me.
She in the low numbers. You ain't got to go up to 134 to find Claudia.
No,
but
She
you
on
know
4.
what?
Valley.
But you know what? I think part of the feminist movement is necessary. Because let's not act. Yeah, you're pointing out, families were together. There was a nuclear family movement in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and then the 70s came and 80s rewrote some of that. But let's not act that there was a quiet suppression of women during that time, too. Claudia Jordan, speak on it.
I spoke on it last week. I mean, I find it hard to believe that things were so amazing, and then this feminism movement came along, and everybody's like, oh, I'm going to just get out of my relationship, or I'm going to leave my man, or I'm going to get out of the situation. If it was working, I don't think they bought into that as easily, and then there was some suppression going on. When do we, voting, that wasn't something that was happening.
How about that?
Until recently.
Voting.
And I'm saying, but there was a lot of things that women couldn't do.
Wow.
Women were voting way before the second
Women
wave of
was the
feminism.
was the first
Well-
wave. That was in the 20s.
Okay, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of things that women couldn't do.
Not.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
But, in
Jeff Brown?
In defense of that, to say that what was enacted helped women to be empowered, that's killing mosquitoes with a shotgun. Okay. I don't think. And I'm not saying shit wasn't oppressive. I'm black. I'm gonna say wasn't no
Exactly.
oppression.
We should know more than anyone.
Right.
What I'm also saying is that the most important job in the world is to raise a child. So anything you do is secondary to that. And I don't know.
What?
Yeah.
The biggest
So you're
effect.
saying
But only
No,
for
no,
women?
Okay. No.
Only for women or
No,
women and men?
for
us.
for family
for
building.
family building.
I agree with
okay?
that.
But you're saying a
and
woman's...
the We
I
give it
feel
to
you. Well, I'm not against you right now.
So any
Eyebrows off.
I'm a little passionate about this. Any
Mad
woman who forgoes raising a child to become a CEO has to understand.
Wait a minute.
That emotionally,
Hold on.
socially, and spiritually, that's a step backwards from what you're supposed to be doing.
Wait.
Hold on. I gotta go to the doctor. Doc, please bring some goddamn clarity to this shit.
Men go to work, women stay home and have a baby.
Right. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
all you're good for.
Is that what we're reducing it down to? Doc, go deeper.
I think part of what happened, what triggered feminism is most people don't mind being needed, but everyone hates being used. And I think a lot of women just felt used and used like they were an appliance. And I think what happened is they got together and they said, any of you feel kind of this way? Any of you kind of feel kind of used, sort of disrespected, and we're supposed to actually laugh at their silly jokes and stuff, and they come home and they tell us how awful it is in the world? And I think what happened is they built a community, and I think a whole bunch of them said, we deserve better than to be used. We don't mind being needed, but we're not going to be used. And if they're going to do that, it's going to go both ways.
Wow.
I agree with that. And I think that perhaps maybe with the feminism movement that there was extremes, of course, and we needed to find the middle ground where it works for everybody. You know what I mean? And, I see there's like a lot of hostility towards the feminism movement from the panel here, I see. But some of it was necessary because there was a lot of, suppression, and women were not feeling, like you said, they weren't feeling appreciated probably, feeling used as baby makers, and that's it, and just take care of the home and shut up.
Get in there, bed warmer.
Pretty much. I don't want to hear your opinion. I don't care about you want to go to school, your careers.
One of the things about women is and I'm a great advocate, and I coach more women than men, and is that women have great BS meters, and men are afraid of being called on their BS, and 80% of men are BS, but they don't call each other on it.
Doc, I disagree. I think it's both ways.
And so I think what was happening is men
said, balance.
I agree with you.
Here was the issue that a lot of women still face. The man comes in without having earned it. He says, I demand to be respected. And what they're thinking is, well, then don't act like a baby.
Right.
Wow.
You can't. I'll take care of a baby. I'm not gonna. I'll change their crap, but I'm not gonna take their crap. So if you want me to respect you, don't act like a baby. And then what do men do? They act like babies.
Right.
Wow. Tim Alexander.
All right, so let's get real.
I agree with you.
What is the after effect? What have we accomplished since the second wave of feminism really came to be? Well, let's look at it. Right now, we have more fractured homes than ever. Fractured homes make very broken people, and it makes a very dysfunctional society.
And that's feminism's fault.
So,
solely?
With the feminism movement came a sexual revolution, and this was paid for by the Rockefeller Foundation. This was an agenda, and the first founding mothers of the second wave of feminism were lesbians. And their agenda was to disrupt the family.
Hold on.
A lot of them.
Let me ask
so
this
it's the
question.
truck driver's fault.
Let me just ask the question, because that's good information. Are you saying feminism led to a rise in lesbianism?
That too, but that's not my point. My point is their goal, their agenda was to disrupt the family and overthrow the patriarchy. And it was very strategic because they knew the effects it would have on society in the long run. So now, while women feel they're freer, now they have children and they have to work, somehow or another finish getting an education because they had these children young, and do all this by themselves, and they do it with 2 or 3 different men. Now women are physically more violent than men. 70% of the physical altercations women hit first now. This didn't happen in the 60s.
Okay, that's
so there
a
are
good
a lot
point.
of new negative things that have come out of this that is not freedom. And one of the things that feminism supposedly was addressing was the objectification of women. Women have never been more objectified in history. They objectify themselves.
Agreed.
So this is foolishness. This second wave, the first wave I agree with. The second wave was pure foolishness.
Wow.
And it was designed to disrupt the family, and it
think-
did, because the founding mothers said they wanted to destroy the nuclear family. And sure enough, 45 years later, I can show you the quotes. The nuclear family is indeed destroyed. So when are we going to look at the green grass and say, yep, that's grass, because it's grass?
Well,
Wow.
I think
Doc,
it's- You know what's interesting, because I love this debate, but we are like a contentious family right here in the studio.
Yes.
And I think the number one reason, and take it on, but I think the number one reason for not just the fracture of families because of the feminist or black families, whatever, of all families, the number one reason is people are unwilling to listen and care about what's important to the other person. They can't stop themselves because they're so trying to get what they want, and it's a double standard. But if everyone could just pause every day at the morning and say, I wonder what's important to the other person, and then do something in regard to that.
Train, yeah.
But that means consider somebody else. But most of us are relationship retards. We can't do it. Claudia Jordan.
Oh, I was just waving to Michael Collier. But I'm just saying, sitting here being a woman here and just listening to what you guys are saying, and it's hard for me to not feel a little bit like, okay, I keep hearing the second week in a row, it's the woman's fault. It's the woman's fault. It's feminism. It's this, it's that. And I'm like, where is it? Is it just really, are we really that bad? Is it just women's fault? Did we disrupt the perfect situation that we had before? Does no responsibility fall on any of the men?
She's asking you.
I'm asking you guys, and seriously, let's take responsibility here.
I'd like to hit that ball back.
Please.
Hit it back, Geoff.
I am not saying there's no magic bullet. There's no one pill to why shit is fucked up. But with regard to women not being where they need to be in the family, feminism is the sugar in that Kool-Aid. Okay. There's no, you can't just go, well, shit is fucked up and feminism has nothing to do with it. That's bullshit.
Wow.
But we can't say shit is fucked up and men have nothing to do with it.
I've never said that.
It's people, you guys. And my thing isn't just like women are always right. And I do not think that. There's a lot of horrible women out there, horrible men. There's our society. There's all these programs and things that you guys are speaking of. I get it. But I feel like we got to stop putting it, like the blame game. Here we are again, second week in a row.
But Claudia, so many of today's men aren't men. They're mirrors of their mother.
Oh, I know this. I know.
How are you being a man when you don't have any man in you?
Complain about them.
What kind of man are you going to be when a mother raised you, couldn't even pick a good man who didn't have a father and doesn't have a grandfather?
Again, it's a woman's fault for picking a bad man. What about men having responsibility? God damn.
All right, so
there's a lot of no good men out there. Where are they going to come from?
Tim, follow my lead.
Again, it's our fault.
Let's just take a deep breath.
I bow down.
Let's just take a deep breath. Oh, I love the submission in you. It's beautiful.
Yes, I'm giving you guys what you want.
Okay, now I'm in love with it. She just became a submissive woman.
Love
Can I
that.
marry you?
Here we go.
Weak men love that.
Here we go. This is awesome. Weak men don't love a submissive woman. No, we don't.
Okay.
No, but let me give the woman this jewel. Submission has nothing to do with oppression. Humility is not humiliation.
Exactly.
So it's not saying you have to fucking wash my feet.
Can I join your church because you're preaching?
That's not what I'm saying. Dude. That's not what any man is saying.
Exactly.
A lot of times submission comes in the form of appreciation.
And I need to submit to you.
But that's a whole other level.
I understand that. And I am about traditional roles in a relationship.
Right.
I've said this before, but because maybe it's my tone, maybe it's my delivery, you don't believe me. But in relationships, I get that. I'm all for that. I'm not a combative woman in a relationship at all.
Wow.
I love my man to lead. Love it. It's a turn on.
Wow.
A woman will respect and follow a man that is a leader, but there's a lot of men parading around here that are not leaders that want that same respect as a leader.
I disagree.
Bitch ass men that want the same respect that a real man should get. I will be in front of the line to respect you, a leader, a strong man, a real man.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about this unrealistic expectation.
Right.
A man who makes a decision, leads the household, takes care of his responsibilities, like those kind of things, basic qualities I think that come with being a man.
Great point. Soul Wonder is on the line. He's been holding. We got to give him his. Soul Wonder, thank you for the call. Chime in.
Chat room's hilarious.
What's going on, everybody? Brother Zoe, Geoff, the Doctor, C Murder, other guests on there. This is a great debate y'all guys going on there. Basically, when it comes down to it, on both sides, the main word that has to be noted is respect. And in order to have respect, you must be respectable. You must be respectable. And I think that's what it is on both parties' sides. There's all kinds of different factors. Feminism on one side, I believe as far as men is concerned, back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, I think when we lost a lot of our black leaders and black leadership, that kind of dialed us down as far as being proud to be black.
Wow.
And then, as being a black man, being beat down and tore down every day, a man wants to come home, he wants to, be the king of his house. As feminism came in, that kind of weighing that down slowly but surely. And then crack age and all that, and guys going to jail and going to work, the presence of a father's not in the home, all that predicates to all that.
Wow.
All that predicates all that.
Well, listen, brother, I appreciate the call. Thank you for that heavy dose of information. We got to take a quick break because one of our other guests have just shown up. Is the Christian and or religious concept that the man is created as the leader of the house, the leader of the relationship, and the woman is just a helpmate, is that still relevant? Is being the leader of the household the same as being the leader of the relationship? Somebody call me. 323-965-1600. I'll be back in 2.2. We killing it right now.
It's frustrating.
Ladies and gentlemen, So What Mornings back in the building. It's always controversial. You know we're going to continue to push the envelope. Well, I want to welcome one more guest. The poetess has just chewed me out.
Full house.
Too many guests, too many opinions, Zoe. You're
like
out
a
of
damn
control.
slave ship in here.
Jesus Christ. But again,
it's a woman's fault we got caught.
Great questions here.
Too many people.
Great questions. Is being the leader of the household the same as being the leader of the relationship? Are women simply relegated to being a helpmate? Cooking, cleaning, nurturing, loving, raising kids, barefoot, taking care of Papa Do. Is dad's responsibility now? What? Just provide. Just take care of your kids. Don't worry about anything else. Somebody call us right now, 323-965-1600. Is the worshiping of gender roles simply putting a blanket understanding of purpose over all men and women? Let me just welcome back to the building none other than the man, the myth, legendary comedian, actor, director, just all kinds of stuff. Producer. He's back in the building. None other than Michael Collier has rejoined the panel.
Just like a grown man.
Yay, thank y'all. I'm glad to be back with this august body of intellectual giants.
Indeed.
Who have great hearts, too, because I hear y'all and you're passionate, and I appreciate that. So thank you for having me back.
Yes. As a man or woman going into a relationship, is it better to be in alignment with one's authentic self or in alignment with societal or gender role expectations, i.e., the man should be strong and the masculine leader, and the woman should be the vulnerable feminine helper. 323-965-1600. That's the number to dial. Geoff Brown, talk to me.
There's a number of things me and Claudia go at it about. One of the phrases that she used that I despise is the term real man. I hate that fucking term. And I think I qualify as who that term is talking about. But sadly, cats don't know. We are all real men. It's just some of us are real shitty at it. And and by saying you ain't a real man, you taking this dude out the race. No, nigga, you in the race. You just last. Get your shit together. Okay? When you're born with balls, that comes with something. And to say, oh, you ain't no real man, oh, well, I guess I'm not then. I'm gonna play some more PlayStation. No, you're not. Dude, you are called higher, and we need to call each other higher.
Right.
Okay. But if you don't answer that higher calling though, can you consider yourself a real man?
Yes, you are a really shitty man.
But you get to be a man just because you have the physical components of a man?
I think that's
or
a boy. That's a boy.
Do you need all the things that makes the full package?
Whoever comes in last in the NFL is still in the NFL. They just fucking suck.
I understand what you're saying.
Point.
Man. I understand. Good point.
Semantics. Go in.
Right.
Here's a semantic. The difference between a real man and a real man is a real man takes things seriously. An unreal man takes it personally.
Ooh.
Wow.
Damn.
That's
wow.
And this is why he's on the show, ladies and gentlemen.
I feel that. And I think one of the gender differences, which men and women would do well to understand, is that women talk in order to get clear in their minds. Mm-hmm. Men try to get clear before they talk, because if they're not and they say the wrong thing, another man's going to shoot them. So women often when women are talking, they are doing it to feel clear, and up until recently they felt it was safe to say whatever they wanted, but they do that as a way to get clear about what they think. But men, when they take it between the eyes, like it's this assault on their ego and whatever, as opposed to just thinking, boy, is she pissed.
Doc,
boy, is she angry about something.
So women are just processing it. They're saying
processing
things to process what the emotion, the feeling is.
They process it in their language. Men kind of process it in their mind, and that's why a lot of men kind of seem clueless in the way they communicate.
And we as men, our approach to it is to try to solve it.
Absolutely.
Even though it's not really being put out there to be solved, it's being put out there for the processing purpose.
A friend of mine said that a good thing to do if you're a man with your woman is this going to be an awareness or an advice conversation? Because if you just want me to be aware of what you're thinking about, then I don't have to feel the performance pressure to come up with a solution. You have no idea what it's like for you to get all emotional about me and feel like, oh, I better come up with a solution, and then you don't want the solution. But if all I knew you needed to hear was to get off your chest, I'd say, and then what happened? Wow, you must have felt awful, and I'll take the pressure off me to give you a solution. And
wait, I'm hearing what the key is here. The key here is communication.
Right.
That's what the real key is. And I think that's what all of it is about, communication and relationships.
Well,
how do you speak to people, and how do you treat those people?
But you have to understand the language that women speak versus the language that men speak. And Dr. John Gray, a lot of people think he's a quack. I happen to think he's pretty cool. He's a nice guy. Yeah. And he's been on The Voice of Reason several times. He made it clear. He said a lot of times women are communicating to find out what it is they want to say.
Absolutely.
And they're just getting to it.
Wow.
And what he was saying is,
wow.
And he said, their communication center is much larger in the brain than men's are. And what they're doing is formulating what they want to say. But when they get to what they want to say, it's really profound. And let me finish it. He said, women, when they communicate, their whole brain lights up.
Okay. So they're the red spots in their brain. They're just, literally.
Yeah. Right. And he said a lot of times women are annoyed that men are trying to solve their problems when all they really want is to be heard.
Right. So and he said
but he said what women need to do is do a better job. He said because men are better at providing for themselves. We'll just cut people off. It's cave time. I'm going in the cave. I don't give a damn how you feel about it. I'm out. Whereas women are connected to so many people, it's hard to withdraw.
Right.
Right? So he was saying women have to do a better job at voicing and articulating their needs.
Exactly.
I need you to just listen without judgment, without solution.
So Zoe, it's
I
going
need
back.
10 minutes.
It's going back to the basic thing. It's just communicating clearly what you need before you start talking about what you need.
Exactly.
So to up front just say, look, I just really want you to hear me.
Yeah,
I don't need you to solve this for me. Just hear me so you know how I feel.
Something that'd be helpful for the women to know about men is that a lot of men feel like if you're not in control, you're out of control.
True.
And a lot of men feel that what they're in control of is a very narrow part of life, usually their competence, their skills, and their problem-solving ability. So what happens is when you come there wanting to clarify your head and your mind and really communicate what you really feel, they experience it as a tsunami. And so when they feel like they're going to drown with you, when you're just clearing your throat and clearing your mind, and so they react to try and put things under control, and you feel shut down. But what they are is they feel like you're dragging them out of their competence zone.
Wow.
And then they push back to say, no, I'm going to solve this, and they turn you off.
Well, that was a lot of words for something I said last week. The best way to make your man feel useless is to give him a bunch of shit he can't fix.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
That's a fantastic way. I give my wife, and we get along well with this. You got 3. Let's talk about 3 things you want to talk about. The rest of that is for your girlfriends. That's for your girlfriends. To take that 19 things? I can't take 19 things because I'm going to try to fix. Huh? Why not?
That's your woman.
Well, because that's not my
Devil's
job.
advocate.
That's not my job.
Your job is not to listen to her?
No, my job is to listen to 3. I listen to 3.
At this time.
So
this
she
point.
has a listening quota. Jeff Brown.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got
Tim
other shit to do.
Alexander. Please cut him off. William Alexander.
Men see things in a certain linearity, and it's in a man's DNA to feel like he has something to bring to the table, like he's a leader, like he has a decision-making ability. Men think from logic and women think from emotion. Men just say, it's this. Women say, but it feels like this.
Right.
So the man is going to listen to that. He's going to say, oh, that's simple. You just do this, this, and this. And she's like, you're controlling me. You're always telling me how to think.
Because it's the fixer.
Well, you bought me a bunch of jumbled up stuff, and I sorted it out for you. What's the problem?
Wow.
That's
Claudia,
the battle of the sexes right there.
Claudia Jordan?
We didn't ask you to fix it. We just want you to listen to us because
You didn't tell us that.
because we love you. We love you and we respect your opinion and we want you to feel where we're coming from. And I've become very delicate when I deal with there's a man that I've dealt with, and I know he gets sensitive about certain things. So what I would do is I almost have to put disclaimers out there when I would talk to him. This is not an argument. I just want to talk to you about something. It could be a jacked up subject we're talking about, but I make sure to keep my tone very calm, to smile with it, and the way I communicate with him. So it's we could be talking about the most something that's very serious and that would make him feel uncomfortable, but I try to deliver it in a very nice package because I feel like a lot of men are just they hear you get emotional and they shut down.
Wow.
And they don't want to hear it. They think it's a fight when it's not.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a caller, and then I'm going to come back to first to DT, Linda Gross, with this question. But first, I'm going to take the caller, but then I'm going to come back with this question. Fact or fiction? A weak, soft, and or effeminate man is one who quarrels with women. Or is this the trick the women use to prevent from being called on accountability? Wow. 323-965-1600. That's the number to dial. Jamal the Black. Line 1. Let's go.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, brother.
I just want to, my observation and my perspective is soon to be 40 and a father of 2 and married. I come to find out that men, we're spiritual advocates. We're avatars of peace, but we're stewards of pain. And I've noticed that women are more naturally introverted. And the reason why I'm saying that, probably because some of the physical things that they go through at a younger age allows them to get to know themselves a little bit earlier.
Wow.
From a human perspective. So here I am about to be 40, and there's certain things that I'm coming into terms with who I am as a male that maybe my wife, she might have been like, well, I've already surpassed that. But then there's some things culturally And there's some things in terms of a global perspective that I'm teaching her now, because she got a couple of degrees and making about, 70, 80 grand a year and this type of thing. And sometimes that power comes into the home. So now I'm saying, hey, look, regardless of what you bring in the house, regardless of what you're able to bring to the table, I'm still the advocate, the spiritual advocate of the home, no matter where I'm at financially.
Wow.
I'm still the spiritual advocate of the home, and I have a responsibility, regardless of how much pain I'm carrying, or, I'm down to my last doobie or whatever it is.
Wow. That's great.
I still have to set a presence for my home. Wow. I can't afford to let my emotions roller coaster up and down. Woo! Because then it throws the balance off of the home.
Wow, thank you, man.
I'm learning certain things now, and I want to thank you for this format that you are providing.
Thank you, brother.
Because it gives brothers like myself an opportunity to, say, you know what? There's some other men that are like me, that possibly a few years older than me, that have experience or experiencing the same thing, and they have the same perspective.
But I don't think women are looking for a spiritual advocate over a financial one.
Exactly.
Well,
go deeper.
I think that what he was saying too is that we went back to the basic question of, are we with the traditional, the man is in charge, the woman is the secondary. There's a hierarchy where the man feels like he's the leader of the home.
Right.
And it sort of sounds like this gentleman is saying that the man is the leader of the home, whether he has the tools to lead or not. Wow, I think that I don't know if that's correct, that the man is the leader of the home.
No, you gotta have the tools in order to be the leader of anything.
Exactly.
You can't be devoid of tools.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's correct that a man has to be the leader, but I know that it works. It tends to work in our society that there is a hierarchy where there is the king and the queen, and I don't know what cultures we've studied this in, but the king is always the king. And if a king is really treating his woman like a queen, then this thing really works, because that goes both ways. She'll treat him like a king as well.
Queen, by the way, queen comes from an ancient term that means whore. It's true.
And every man needs a whore in his house. Come on, bro. This is essential.
Come on.
To happiness.
Yes. DT.
Michael, I think we're talking about semantics here. Back in the day, prior to the 60s, I think the men were the head of the household. I don't think we need extremes anymore. I really don't. So if a woman is providing...
Are you speaking of an egalitarian relationship now?
Hold on. Here's my point. It doesn't have to be he's 95% the king of the household.
If he can just be 1%, he's happy.
If she's exactly, that's the new today.
Yeah.
All he has to be is 1% more of the man than she.
And that still keeps the hierarchy a hierarchy.
And
it
then
still
it works.
keeps him at the top of the food chain, and so he feels comfortable with who he is, and so he can let you be who you are.
But if he's the top of the food chain, Michael, does that mean the woman is suppressed in some way, shape, or form?
Not necessarily suppressed. It is a team effort.
Yes.
I don't think so.
But the way this team goes,
and she doesn't have to be, 100% of the caregiver anymore. It's today. It's 2013.
He got to share that too, though.
He can share.
He's got to share that too.
20%, 30% of that load.
How many of you agree? How many of you would agree with this? That going back to the king and the queen thing, that men way down deep want to feel admired, and women want to feel cherished. And the opposite of being admired for a man is being belittled. And the opposite of being cherished as a woman is being treated like you're a nag.
Or ignored.
And so when people just stay in the belittlement or treating like a nag, it's a non-starter.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeff?
Yeah. I do most of the cooking. I got a cooking show. It's called Cooking with Comics. I want Michael Collier to be a guest on my show.
Yay.
I do most of the cooking. I'm very compassionate with my children. My wife make more money than me. I'm a comedian, so I have more time at home. My wife's word is valuable. My wife's word often sways what I do. But my word is final.
That's because she respects you.
Because we respect one another, and somebody got to have the final word.
Not only does she respect you, she doesn't hold the inclement income that being a comedian, it's like a wave. When you're hot, you're making dough. When you're not, you're not. So she doesn't hold that over your head either.
I think a lot of it too, though, is perception, because the really strong woman knows how to make you feel like you got the final word when you really don't.
You really don't.
You know,
Exactly.
You really don't.
so it really is.
You the train, and she just laying the track.
That's
where
a
she want that
successful
train
relationship.
To go.
Yeah, that's a successful relationship.
That's so
You know,
And we don't put in your face that we know that we're running shit really.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, baby, you got the final word.
Building
Wow.
on
Dr. Goulston?
Building on what Geoff just said, some guy told me, he said, he came in about the final word. He said, I make the decisions about where we go to war, what we do in the economy, and what we do such and such. He makes a small decision, like how many kids we're going to have, what kind of house we're going to have, where we're going to live.
Right.
So let me do this. Let me restate the question, and I'm going to Tim Alexander. The question is, fact or fiction, a weak, soft, or effeminate man is one who quarrels with women? Or is this a trick women use to prevent from being called on personal accountability? Tim Alexander, let's go.
Okay. Women have a very interesting warfare shaming tactics.
Ooh.
And they'll generally call a man something that really hurts his male ego and brings him down like multiple notches in a way to suppress his ability to express what he's trying to communicate.
The way of the vicious, evil woman, Tim speaks of. Go deeper.
Claudia just used the term, what do you call those men? B something, something, something.
You know what she said. I know you Christian and you're afraid to cuss, but you can cuss
Yeah,
here. What
you
did
can
she
say
say?
bitch.
Claudia, say it again, please.
I don't speak like that. I'm a lady.
Oh, okay.
A submissive
Say it
one now.
But
You
anyway,
can say bitch. The Lord will let you slide. You're telling the truth.
She's just reloading.
so, women have a tendency to go right to a man's jugular, and then they put him in a trick bag, because then if he says something, then he's playing into what she says. See, look, you can't stop nagging. And if he doesn't say anything, then he's weak. So either way, what are you doing in that
It's a
situation?
lose-lose
It's a lose-lose
situation.
situation. And they sit around and conjure those up. They think at night while you sleep, how can I put this man in a trick bag that he can't get out of?
I must have missed the
I can't beat
meeting.
him
I must
up.
have missed the bitch meeting to, I don't know.
I can't beat him up, so I got to find
Disrespect man.
something.
Oh,
But you
yeah.
know, here's the way we should look at women. We should look at women as family managers. That's not suppression. You're the family manager. And I am the lowly worker ant. You're the queen, and you don't do anything. You stay here, and I go out and pillage and forage and find food and bring it back to you. But you decide, what are we going to eat tonight? What is the house going to look like? How should the kids be educated? You decide all that stuff.
All that shit's important.
And then I'll just, come in and bring you everything I can get my hands on and give it to you. You can write the bills out, but every once in a while, I need to tell you what's going on the outside, and I need to make an executive decision from time to time.
Tim
But I'm not going to deal with
Alexander.
the small stuff.
Tim Alexander, I have to call you on something here.
All right.
There's recent research out there that says women are less happy than men in general.
Okay, yes.
The research
they are.
used to say they were more happy. So here's what I'm saying I have to call you on.
I got something for
You're
you.
not
Call me.
looking at the new woman. The new woman,
I got something
just
for
let me
you.
finish. The new woman, her lifespan is about as equal as men. Men used to live less than women. Women used to live longer than men.
True.
Now it's about equal because
That's
women.
the babies are wearing them
Let
out.
me finish this point, Timmy.
Yes.
But let me say this.
Tim, sir.
A woman's life now has way more responsibility because she's better educated and because she has a better job. She has a 24 cycle now that doesn't get cut off. She's big dog at work and she has to come home and be nurturer, mama, manager. So now she's not having downtime and her testosterone levels are raising. So is the cortisol, so is the stress, and so is the frustration. So now she's Wonder Woman at all times. There's no vacation for her anymore.
Exactly. Because they got what they asked for. They wanted to be equal, so they took on man's responsibility and still have woman's responsibility. You can't take on a man's role and still biologically be a woman and not get short-circuited.
Wow.
The number one death of children in this country is their own mothers, infanticide. They're so frustrated they're killing their own children. And so now they still have to be a woman. They still have to lay down and have a baby and lactate and nurse it and somehow or another go back to work 4 weeks later. And then it's just too much to do. So now they are dying early. They're killing themselves with too much pressure.
But wait, now
And so-
there's a national conversation now, though, right? You
Michael
probably saw the
Collier.
lady on 60 Minutes this Sunday, the COO of Google, who just wrote the book about how women are are now going out in the workplace and they're now becoming stronger and putting down other women so that they could be stronger, because now they're having that same pressure that they're doing the work, then they're coming home and expecting to take care of the kids. But now the men have to shift their roles if they're in those relationships. They have to help. Yeah, if they have a man, they have to help now do that part. Just I do my part too. I try to help at the house, and like my man said, I cook. So I try to do stuff at the house as well, because I know that if my woman is doing the corporate stuff and I'm trying to give her more and more corporate stuff to do, then what she's doing at the house is going to be less than she could do, because she also has to put, and you only get 100%. So you can't put 100% everywhere. Man. You're going to put 40 over here and 60 over there. But it has to balance, but it has to be on both sides. Yeah. Wow. It has to be a give and take for it to really work. And I'm going to keep going back and back to that same thing about the king and queen, because really when you both look at each other like that, when you both raise each other up and hold each other up like that, then there's a certain level of respect that makes the thing work.
I've always said that instead of Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, whatever, the religion of relationship should be respect.
Yeah.
Because in respect, it comes from the root word reverie, where we get the word reverend or reverence.
Yes.
There should be the religion of reverence in relationship in order for it to build. But if we're setting social and cultural benchmarks as opposed to respect benchmarks, this is why relationships erode from from the inside out. Tim Alexander.
The royal road to respect.
That's the doc. He doesn't listen very well, but that's okay. Doc, go ahead.
Ever since I wrote that darn book about listening, I'm terrible at it. But the royal road to respect is empathy. And the reason and I think what we're all hearing here is we're a society where everyone is overwhelmed and can't stand to have another thing put on them, and we push back anything from the other person, so so everybody loses. I think if you could actually calm down and say to your partner, how often do you feel overwhelmed with the responsibilities on you with all your roles, I think a lot of partners would say 24/7.
Wow.
And I think, and I think if you could allow that to come out in the conversation, what would happen is something would come back that has been lost from contemporary society, and what's been lost is tenderness. There is no more tenderness.
But isn't tenderness anti-man?
No, tenderness is kindness. It's
relationship myth. We've identified it, right?
Well, today's modern women have relegated themselves to becoming competitors instead of companions.
But aren't men competing against women too?
They're competing in the male-dominated.
When I see a rapper wearing lipstick and makeup, I think he's competing with women. Go in, Tim.
Okay, let me go back to anger. The reason women aren't as happy. They did a survey with women who were over 50 and asked them if women were happier before or after the second wave of feminism. Almost unanimously, they said before. They felt protected. They felt respected. They felt secure. They knew that their men were going to work and get them that house with the white picket fence. That was the norm in the 50s. Yeah. And so there was a certain comfort in our gender roles because I know what I'm supposed to do. You know what you're supposed to do. I'm going to work, and you're going to stay and take care of this, and you let me know what you need, and I'm going to go and get it.
But Tim, they just know those roles. They accepted those roles as well.
And they were not happy. They were told they weren't happy.
I have to say this, Tim. I have to say this. You guys sound like dinosaurs.
I am a dinosaur.
And the reason why I say that is because the world is evolving.
The world sucks.
Let me finish. The world is evolving. And at the end of the day, at the very end of the day, you look at technology, it triples every 18 months. But what doesn't is human psychology. We hold on to traditions that keeps us in the past. Technology is making it so women are smarter. Technology is making it so that women are the #1 workforce in America. We're going to have to upgrade the social software that's running on most male minds. I'm telling you.
Matters of the heart do not out time. You're not going to be a dinosaur and an astronaut.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, sir. And change what your heart is.
I disagree.
You may. This is your show.
Exactly.
But let me say you this. If you're where the heart is, how you care about other people and love other people and nurture and share each other, that ain't gonna change. I don't give a damn how much technology you come with. That is one thing that will stay linear until the end of time. That is from the beginning of creation.
But Michael, you have to look at this.
Yes.
When we look at the beauty and the depth and the meaning of a great relationship and love, One thing there is a dark side of those kind of relationships, and that's the breakup, that's the breakdown, and what we're left with is something that heals in geological time. And that's pain and trauma, and that's why we don't get to a space of forgiveness. It takes us a lifetime to forgive. But when I'm trying to push, for a quantum kind of forgiveness where we can if we can fucking
how come we can't forgive right away though?
That's my point.
Why can't we forgive right now?
But so you're right, the world has evolved, but what has it evolved into? It has not evolved into something better. It's evolved into a world full of angry, broken people from broken homes.
Right.
That is not a good evolution. I don't care if they are the main workforce to give women a job so you can have a double minority because they're black and a woman to further take black men out of the workforce.
Great point.
That is not there's nothing positive about that.
Great point. Bobby on the line. Talk to us, Bobby.
Hey, it's a ball of confusion, man. That's what the world is today,
Bobby
man.
Glanton Smith is on the line. Legendary Corey Holcomb, 5150 co-host. Welcome to the show, Bobby. Talk to us about this menagerie that we're all caught in.
It's a ball of confusion, man. And I appreciate the comment you just made momentarily, a moment ago, and that is the brokenness, man. The roles as we used to know them have been obliterated to the extent where we won't even admit that we're confused, men or women. And especially, I can only speak as a man, but I look at what's going on in the women's world as a spectator, and what I see from my vantage point is they've been overwhelmed with all of these newfound powers, these newfound responsibilities, but they're also still wedded to who they are genetically. And, man, nobody's willing to sit down and say, hey, why don't we just take a time out and assess the implications of all these changes? It's happening so fast, man, that we haven't had a chance to make any adjustments, and all we do is aggravate one another.
Great point. Great point. Bobby Glanton Smith, go in, Doc.
Thank you. He brings up a good point because you're seeing it now. This obviously makes for good radio, and during the breaks, we're actually all much more kind towards each other. But we want to keep the ratings up for anyone who's watching this thing. But I think what we see here is as long as you have to hold on to control, so everybody here is being controlling, no one can get close to you as long as you have to be in control. And then what happens is you have an arrangement. You don't have a relationship. And relationships have turned into arrangements, and arrangements that nobody's winning. And until you could, there's a saying, in matters of the world, stay in control, but in matters of the heart, give it up.
Wow. You know what? You just touched on something very powerful. Iyanla Van Zant did The Voice of Reason with me on the Foxhole a couple of years ago. We did a show about verbal abuse. And she said something that was so profound that it stuck with me the whole time. And it was just her and I. I didn't have no other guests. It was just me and Iyanla for 90 minutes. It was crazy. Wow.
Intense.
It was crazy. She said, I love it when I hear women say, I'm confused. I said, well, why? She says, women and men, when they say I'm confused, that lets me know they're ready for a breakthrough because they are now at the end of what they thought they knew and understood. They are now open for new information to come in and recontextualize. Now, here's the thing, and this is our next segment of this show. I'm going to hit the question, and then we're going to go to break, and then we're going to come back and deal with it. Even though we didn't deal with that question about men, is it bitch-assness?
We need to deal with
to call your woman to the floor for not being accountable. See, I believe men need to be truthful and women need to be accountable, and we can start there, right? Long as men tell the truth and live in their truth and stop being actors who are following a script that was written by a woman whose idea of script writing comes from Disney, right? He's just playing Prince Charming. He's not really charming. He's an actor, right? As long as men stop doing that and live in their truth, women will respect them more. But women have to now come to the floor by being accountable. Let's talk about bitch-assness in men who quarrel with women after we come back from break.
Absolutely.
So What Morning Show. I'll be back.
All right.
goodness.
Make a t-shirt
Y'all
out
don't
of that.
even know. I think we need a camera in here.
For the break.
For the break.
I don't even smoke weed, but I'm about to. POTUS, what's up?
Damn, it's going crazy up in here.
I could use some dubage. Right?
You're listening to the So What Morning Show, the most revolutionary, sociological, anthropological show ever to come on. It's a social experiment. We're trying to understand each other. Sometimes we get a little heated, but it's all for the highest good of all. That's the purpose of this format. And I want everybody to participate. 323-965-1600. Does the law of attraction concept of you are what you think and experience apply to intimate relationships? Is it possible to attract a person or experience that is in complete opposition to your nature? I.e., if you're not an abuser yourself, can you still magnetize the experience to you? If so, how?
Absolutely.
Jesus, DT! The caveman formula. 4 rules you never knew you needed to know to conquer your woman. Linda Gross, talk to us, DT.
Nice hooters.
And there's the man love.
I'm sorry, where'd that come from?
He's a man, damn it.
I like titties. Sorry about that.
To tell you, as I call it. Go deeper. Go deeper, DT.
Now I got all distracted. Can you give me the tail end of that question, please?
I'm just saying, a lot of people think that, you know, and this is another misnomer we have to deal with. Of course, we got to deal with the bitch assness question.
Oh, if you're, I got it. If you're an abuser, if you're not an abuser, can you attract
Can
someone
you still
into your
magnetize?
life?
Does the law of attraction
who is an
apply?
abuser?
Yes, to intimate.
Of course, the power of the mind. Of course you can, and you have the ability to change it. Just because you have a prescription for life doesn't mean you can't step outside of that boundary and take charge of it.
Right.
Of course, your thoughts control who you are and what you attract.
Wow, go deeper.
You know, here it is. Earlier I heard the statement, especially on the break, about it's the women this or the women that or the men this or the men that. And I think when it comes to relationships, it's really nobody's fault but everybody's responsibility.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I was looking for.
You know? And I think that though it's really important, so everything is about relationship and communication, so it's important that you both are clear on what your expectations are from each other in that relationship, and you got to work at relationship.
How does judgment and appraisal of your partner erode the relationship? Go deeper, Michael Claudia.
I think it erodes it because it ain't your gig to judge. You know, you're supposed to step back on that. And like I say, we go back to communication. Find out what your mate needs, what your mate wants, and explain clearly to your mate what you need, what you want to be whole and happy, and then you both should work towards that goal. But not judgment.
What if you're a disciple of parental hurt, right? Because a lot of times hurt parents raise hurt children. True. And they teach you how to interface from a space of lack and hurt and unforgiveness. How does that logic and generational curse get passed down to destroy relationships?
You might have to talk to Geoff on that because, because I had a great mother, and I mean I had a great father too, but my mother took us away, after we were like kids, and so she sort of raised us. But she was a great mother who taught us that we should love and respect women, and so I really think a lot of it has to do. I heard earlier, Geoff, I was outside the room, you said something about men are a mirror of their mother. Did you say something like that? Who said that? One of you guys was coming in about.
That's what you were going to say when.
That's what I was going to say. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Let me just say, I think that the mother does set a tone for a lot of us since she raises so many of us, and men who really love their mother, respect their mother, tend to treat women better. If you talk to some man and he's got some terrible shit to say about his mama, run. Run. You'll be a recipient of a punch to the face. Wow. But a person a man who really loves and respects his mother usually is gentler and more respectful of women in general.
So let me ask this. Is it true that if you won't quarrel with your mother, that you may not quarrel with your woman?
Yeah, I think it may not be absolutely true, but I think the odds are that you're going to be gentler about it or more in a more negotiative pattern than being heavy-handed about it. Because I can't imagine
you do what you know. If that's the way you were raised, you do what you know.
Yeah, you do what you know, of course.
Right.
Yeah. I can see you, Jeff Brown.
Go ahead, Jeff Brown. I'm sorry. I see your big ass hand. Go ahead, sir.
Baseball.
You don't. Yeah. I got
slap nobody with that hand.
I got some. I'm nice with
talking
these
about assault
too. Okay. I grew up and in a very, very violent home on the south side of Chicago. I've seen my uncle slap a woman so hard, his girlfriend, he slapped her so hard that his watch broke. Wow. And the woman picked up the pieces of the watch to get it fixed for him. I've seen women beat like dudes, and I have yet to ever put my hands on a woman in anger because my internal clock knows that is wrong. Okay. And at some point, you got to stop blaming shit on your parents. Right. Okay? At some point, you got to take accountability and responsibility. I had that problem in a marriage. Oh, well, my mama did this. Your mama ain't here. Okay? I am here, and I am on your side. And you have to, at some point,
it'd be really nice if you do that.
This part of the shit that brought me up is wrong.
Geoff, it's nice if you do that, but generally that's not the case. Generally, you do what you know. You're usually a product of your environment. And if you're taught hate and you're taught heavy-handedness, generally that's how you respond. But it's very nice if you say, I'm not going to blame nobody, they fucked up, but I'm going to act right. It'd be very nice.
But I agree with you, Geoff. At some point, you come to that crossroads.
Right.
And
hopefully.
And then you say, I had this bad experience as a child,
and
I'm using it as an opportunity to be better.
That's good stuff right there.
Absolutely.
Turn that thing around.
Yeah, that's
and
good
that's
stuff.
what will make you heal from all that bad hurt in your childhood.
Claudia Jordan.
I just to piggyback off of that, like there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, you grew up in a household where your father was abusive or your mother didn't show you love or whatever. Right. And I think that's probably 90% of the reason why we have dysfunctional relationships. But then those 10% or whatever the number is that can acknowledge that and then work on it, then that's where you're going to have that growth and that's where you're going to be good and valuable in a relationship. I had to take this class one time and we had to face things that were painful in front of these people I didn't even know. I'm like standing there weak and just vulnerable. I let the guard down and I had to just admit stuff. Right. I grew up, my mother never told me she loved me, not to this day. Wow. Never did. My father did, but I didn't believe him. So like we had to like talk about these things and then really look at how that was affecting our relationships. Wow. And then since that time, like I cannot tell you how many positive things have been happening in my life across the board. Like these blocks have been lifted.
We love you, Claudia.
So let me say this.
Like,
Claudia, she just said something powerful. This is what.
And it's okay that she didn't say that now.
We love you almost as much as we would if you were ugly.
Let me just say this though. Let me just say, listen to this. I was talking to a brother. He's a producer. He's the guy who made this track. And we were talking about conflict. First off, we have to recontextualize what conflict means in relationship. Conflict is not always an ender of relationships. It could be a seed that helps you develop and grow. Conflict is the conduit to growth. A lot of people are trying to get away from the feeling of conflict as opposed to what gift is wrapped in it. So what I came up with, I'm understanding that every situation will reveal to you that you are living your resolution. Most people don't get to living their resolution because they create this neurosis of protection. So when I get wounded, I do something, think something, so I don't have to feel something. So what they don't realize is it creates a barrier around the wound that keeps it open. So trauma, this is why I say in the new book, The Relationship Dismount, how to let go, right? How to release, how to stick the landing when you're trying to let go. In that book, I'm saying that it is the neurosis that we fall in love with that actually prevents us from getting to the other side of the bridge. The starting point is being hurt, trauma. The ending point is forgiveness. But most of us never get to forgiveness because we get caught in a behavior or a thought process that we think is protecting us from the pain.
It's very easy to sit around and say, it's the woman's fault, it's the man's fault, my father left, my mother was a bitch, this, that, and the other. That's easy. It's easy to like confess that, whatever. It's not easy to switch that around and see how you can learn from that and heal and try to
use it,
because being a victim is like you get sympathy from others, people feel sorry for you.
Claudia said something, and I'll do a little shrinkery with you because I'm a shrink.
Shrinkery.
Shrink
wrap.
Do I need help?
Here we go.
Brilliant shrinkery.
Shrink wrap.
I think what you just shared before, when you got up in front of other people, is you were able to finally feel the hurt under the anger.
Right.
And there was something pure and purifying about that. And it's tough to feel hurt underneath fear and anger because if it was caused from our families, we don't trust anyone. But until you can feel the hurt under the scab, until you can drain the pus and all the way down in the wound, you can't heal from the inside out. Ooh. And a lot of people just get stuck to making sure that they don't get re-injured, re-hurt. And so they want to heal, but they don't want to be re-hurt again.
Right.
And I think you had it was to your credit for you and
it's
that
hard.
thing.
Trust me, it was not easy. It was very, very raw, and you had to be very, very real and like let the pretty package like unwrap it, take it off, and just deal with it.
And be.
Yeah,
and cry in front of strangers and say that it hurts because like a lot of times, especially with women, this is kind of a generalization, but I'll do this one. Us black women, we have this thing where we have to be strong and we have to not show like when things are hurting us, and we can't. I'm cool. He left, or I'm cool. I'm good, but really you're not.
It's like the reverse of hyper masculinity, like
right.
a man over
strong.
man.
Right, and that's what we do. And it's like sometimes, like I look at when people act in these ways, and not like be so quick to like just place blame, but like why are they like that? Clearly no one wants to be like that. Nobody wants to be this angry black woman or this like over masculine, obnoxious man, or but it's because they don't know how to deal with it.
Wow. It's a Band-Aid on the hurt.
I think an open heart form of communication, though, really does honest communication sort of trumps conflict. I think that there's a way that you can have an open heart and you can actually
conflict is essential.
Well, for you, but I'm just saying essential. I don't think it's essential for everybody. I don't think that you have to have conflict.
It's part of the human condition.
I don't agree, though, brother. I don't think so. I think that we can have a conversation that
it's
it doesn't have to be.
It's a stair step to that understanding.
Conflict.
Go in, Tim Alexander.
Okay. We learn through conflict. Conflict can be out of control and raw, or conflict can be very controlled.
Okay.
But everything about our life, when you tell a child that's hot, they don't understand until they feel what hot is.
And that's conflict.
And And even when we're out of alignment with God, He sends conflict down to teach us a lesson. Without
that's
conflict,
if we believe the Judeo-Christian concept.
Well, whatever you believe in, it gives you conflict too. Whether it's karma, whether it's the universe, it can give you conflict if you're out of alignment with it.
Michael, you're dealing with some conflict right now.
Am I?
Yes.
And what is it?
Michael, I've known Michael for over 20 years. Yeah. I ain't never seen Michael in a pair of blue jeans. I ain't never seen Michael.
He's conflicted.
Michael ain't got no sneakers. Michael much as warm as his heart is, Michael can't help you move because he ain't got no clothes for that.
I am dealing with conflict right now.
Yes. What to wear
today? I didn't know what to wear today.
We have a Reach Around Radio legend on the line right now. Jay Nasty, line 1. Go deeper.
Nasty.
What's good? So everybody that's in the studio, excuse me, I do have a cold, you know what I mean?
And we're glad you're not in the studio.
Were you with Claudia?
I know, I don't feel good either.
I wish, shit. But this question is for Claudia. Mm-hmm. And just to be honest with you, I mean, for so many years, I've listened to you, I think since 2007 or 2006. Mm-hmm. I've always listened to you. My father even loves you and all that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But what I really want to know, I mean, you say that you always have issues with men and things like that. Why are you not married now? Why do you not have kids now? Because, like, the way you looking right now, this is the sexiest I've ever saw you in my life. Just being plain without all that makeup on, without the hair being fluffed up.
Oh, shit.
All that other
she is delicious.
Say it. Looking like a goddamn pound cake.
Thank you.
The way,
or at least a pound of cake.
Woo,
shit.
But the way you come off, like, your whole vernacular has just been so fucking amazing for a woman to have been down to earth. So it's like, I mean, is it the coitus that you have an issue with, or is it just the dudes?
I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, right now, I used to be like, I want a husband. And I used to look for it, and then I would find trash. And lately, I just haven't even really been interested in that.
You got to figure that shit out.
I don't know. I'm still trying to learn and grow as a woman myself, and I'm a late bloomer, very much so. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Right.
I don't want to blame my father.
Just candlelight. Just fucking candlelight.
I don't know.
Fine as candlelight.
Oh my God. I'm really not. And then as far as like dating, I think some dating mistakes that I've definitely made is like how a lot of men may date multiple women at the same time, and they kind of feel out what they want if I find someone that I'm attracted to, I put all my eggs in that basket, and then I end up usually getting disappointed with another one.
This is beautiful. Back to our topic, relationship myth.
I've done that.
Yes, good
Claudia,
stuff.
That's all I really have for you, Claudia. I just wanted to definitely call in and voice my opinion.
And I don't have makeup.
I mean, want to go deeper on how sexy you do look today.
Thank you.
Even though you've looked sexy in the past as well, but right now,
Jay Nasty, ain't you married?
Really?
What's going on, Jay Nasty? Damn.
He can't look. Damn,
You
he
think
can't even look.
I don't even feel that good today, but thank you very much.
She
That's
does
very
look
nice.
good.
That's
though.
when you look your best.
No, Jay Nasty's right. She does. Look good.
What were we gonna ask me?
Now I was going to ask Claudia. Claudia, there was something that happened in the last few years where you decided, I am not going to lose myself in a relationship, and a lot of men want you to lose yourself in their ego. So
Vice versa, Doc.
No, and vice versa. But does that make sense that you reached the
Keep it
point you
balanced.
said, I will not be in a relationship if I have to lose myself in a relationship?
Or if I have to just compromise so much with I want a relationship where there's mutual respect and there's honesty. I'm not unrealistic about things. I just want us to be our real selves and not this fake. And I feel like I've come across that a lot.
That's where,
I'm not interested in that. I've had the attractive, successful man that on paper we look awesome together, and you from the outside looking in. But this person is can't express themselves or is not honest really or is faking it. And it's I'd rather
ignore the elephant in the room.
And they loved you for how you made them feel about themselves.
I feel like only probably one or two guys maybe in my life really have loved me. Okay. And mostly it's looks. He is giving me props, that guy on the phone, but then it always goes back to how I look. I'm not interested in that.
Claudia,
yes.
Let's go deeper.
Claudia, I have
don't just love me for what
I have
I don't
bad
care about
news
that.
for you, Claudia.
Can that be icing on the cake?
Yes. But the thing is
frustrating
that
to me.
everybody on some level is attracted aesthetically to everyone else.
No, there's nothing wrong with that, but it can't be 90% of it.
Yeah, but she can't be in this world to make men look good. She shows well. There's more to her than someone who shows well.
I get that. Okay, but here's
That's a good point.
Claudia, you have access to more dudes.
Penis.
More penis.
Right.
She
has a dick library.
Yeah, she has. Yeah,
Oh my God.
she has a
Library
dick.
card.
She has a dick of
Eligibility.
dicks. She has a dick of dicks.
But I don't feel like
pop.
A
No
dick of
too many
dicks.
kids. Yes, you have a. But what I'm saying is this: it's very very hard for me to fathom that somebody as many people as you can attract, as smart as you are, as funny as you are, that the world is just full of Mr. Wrongs.
If you expect there's a bunch of Mr. Wrongs, you will keep getting Mr. Wrongs.
I was going to say, is it an internal movement?
Yeah.
Is it an internal movement?
It's got to be. I mean, wow,
I think
really?
I
I'm
think
just
she
not
wants. I
chiming
think she
in. I
wants.
don't want to make it feel like it's Claudia's fault.
it's my fault.
Well,
Everything's my
I'm
fault.
not saying it's your fault. I'm just.
Yes, he is.
I know some ugly girls that's ugly as work boots again that keep dudes for 15, 16, 17 years, 20 years.
And what are they compromising?
Nothing.
Are they happy?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm happy for them.
Both of them are
I haven't
happy.
found mine yet.
Both of them.
Exactly.
Both of them are happy.
Well, you know what? I say it like this. Sometimes it's the way you package yourself. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the way you package
No,
yourself.
it's a fabulous package.
But
Yeah, that package is
what
great.
the man said is you look more beautiful today than I've ever seen you because you look simple.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you package yourself because you got it like that. And I don't blame you, but you're only going to attract men that feel like they can measure up to that. And those are usually jerkholes that just like to hang out with tens and dimes who don't respect them. But a real man would be like, I don't know even know if I can even open my mouth to her because she looks too high maintenance, too high profile. She only likes a certain kind of man.
But that's an effeminate man. That's a weak man.
But also, I forgot my other thought. But anyway, a lot of times the packaging can thwart men who are better. And also, okay, like Zoe said, you have a lot of options. You also have to pick men who are really a simple, down-to-earth man who's going to love you for you. But because you're attractive, you're going to be attracted to, I need a man like this because he has this, he looks like that, his vibe is this.
Let's come back. Tim makes a real good point about the packaging because I think what Claudia, what I hear you saying is you want to find someone who's interested in who you are.
Exactly.
And the thing is, if you package yourself up, you're kind of distracting from that invitation.
It's a lie.
But you know
I
what?
can't
Wait,
help
let me
what
say
I look like. I don't
Right.
put a lot of makeup on. Even like, okay, today I have no makeup on my face, but it's not that I put a lot of makeup on. I don't dress slutty. I'm always in jeans and like I don't. I'm just saying, like, what is wrong with my package? You know, the last guy I went out with this guy.
I
before,
think we're
right?
missing it.
And
Hold
he
on.
told me I
I'm
was
sorry,
too
Claudia.
amazing.
I'm sorry, Claudia.
Shit.
Too amazing.
Shit, if I wasn't married, I'd holler at you with my short peanut head ass.
Wait, I got
You tell me no.
Or
let me-
and Zoe and you guys, I heard this several times. You're too good to be true, and then they sabotage the relationship because I know you're gonna hurt me. I don't
Can I say
believe
something?
that you are all you say you are. I'm like, what?
Let me say this. Look, let me
That's
do this.
bitch-assness.
That's bitch.
Yeah, that's some bitch ass
That is
dude.
bitch-ass.
To me, soon as a guy offers that up, you know he isn't the one.
Yeah.
Insecure.
And
Leave now.
This is what I'm trying to explain to my sister. I really appreciate Claudia for being so authentic and truthful.
Me too.
She's never ever held any punches.
No
You
phoniness.
sit down, you talk to her, she's going to give you the raw, real deal.
And she funny.
So let me just say this. And she disagrees with me here, but I believe in relationship, you get the class you're currently enrolled in. It's not a job of choosing. You're being chosen based off of what you are in the moment. A lot of people marginalize and limit the spiritual movement that's happening. In a club, we're vibrating on the two lowest vibrations. That's physical and emotional, right? Physically, damn. Beautiful, fine as frog hair. Emotionally, made me laugh, connected with them. But the spiritual shit is always working and always in control, not you. You think you're choosing, but God is choosing you in that moment by giving you the relationship right there. Because it's a class, it's a movement. And whether it's conflictual, whether it's beautiful, it's a course in you.
Okay, I think it's not. I think it's not in the looking.
There's no looking.
I think
stopped looking a
Yeah,
while
I
ago.
think that it's not in the
That's
looking
over.
at all. I heard what Geoff was saying, and it is true that people see you first. I mean, there's just no getting around that. People. I mean, 90% of it is the visual. We
I
see
get that.
someone and we're attracted to them. That's what gets us there to start the conversation. So I don't think that you should block the fact that that's how guys are going to come at you. They're
I
coming
don't.
for that. But once they get there, then it's really on you
But please listen to me,
assess them. Right, and to assess them and see if they bring the rest of the package that you also need. But I just would caution you not to block them out just because that's what brought them to you, because that's what's going to
Right
bring
on.
them to you
Everybody.
first. Unless
Everybody know
they
you
hear
fine.
you.
All right,
Tired.
all right. For the entire panel, fact or fiction? If you and your partner are truly in love, the passion or affinity for each other will never fade. Doc, go deeper. True or false?
I think that's true, but it's tough. It's tough to find that because a lot of times we are. Another thing we're attracted to is the unfinished symphony. We're often attracted to something that was missing in our childhood. And the problem is we choose it too well, and it's the same unhappy ending. So, so if you're looking for that
That's
validation. That you never got from your father, your mother, or whatever, often we are attracted to that. And I give people an exercise, single people. I say, when you go to a meeting or a club where you might meet someone you might like, see who you're attracted to, then close your eyes for 30 seconds and look at all the other people you didn't notice, because in that group of people you didn't notice might be someone you could be happy with.
Wow. DT, go deeper.
First of all, I want to give a quick shout out to two of your fabulous listeners.
Oh, wow.
Troy Bills and
Troy Bills.
Nakaya Bay,
Nakaya Bay.
who were very forceful with me to say, part two, let's do a part two. And
Absolutely.
you listened, so I want to give them a shout out.
Well, and it's always good to have Claudia back to back because she's so good, as a radio personality
I
and
didn't
a
say
real
that much
person.
today, though.
No, you said enough to smack everybody in the mouth. Finish your point, DT.
Yeah, but I think, I think sometimes you have to come from a place of expectation, and we can set bad expectations for ourselves as well as good expectations.
Unrealistic
So if you
expectations.
walk into the room thinking there is a good man in this room, then your sensories
You're
will
magnetizing
will
him.
magnetize to that person. If you're walking in saying, "Oh, all my guys are just looking at my body, looking at my face, looking at then you'll attract that guy too. So it is a little bit of the law of attraction.
So you're responsible for your own relationship catastrophe.
And you got to put some weight on the rooms you walking in.
Wow.
That's true.
I think you get what you're really really looking for. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't know if you finished.
I think Claudia is probably going to the right rooms. I don't think that's the issue. I think it's maybe a little attitude adjustment on the internal side needs
do you
to
mean by
happen.
that?
Well,
Go
go
deeper.
in with the okay. If you walk into a room and there's 30 guys there or whatever, walk into the room with one or two of these guys are really a decent guy, and walk in with that energy, and maybe you'll magnetize them.
I think I'm very optimistic when it comes to that, and that's why I keep giving love a chance. You're misunderstanding what my point was to the caller. I don't walk in like, oh my God, all these guys are only looking at my body or my face. I don't look at it like that. I was just making a point that it is frustrating when someone says, I love you, I love you, I love you, because you're fine.
Yes.
I don't go into a room like that. I know I'm an amazing woman and a great catch, and I know that there's a guy out there that is meant for me. I know this.
But I think I think what DT is saying, Claudia, not to cut you off, I don't like to do it.
You don't.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't. But,
I don't walk in there with that attitude.
But I kind of know you a little, not as well as I think I should. But I kind of
like to.
Yeah, would like to. Yes.
Not in the biblical sense.
Right.
She just walked into one of those rooms.
But I kind of know her a little bit, and she has shared this with me, and I'm gonna ask her permission if I can say it.
What?
She has said on numerous occasions, we've had conversations, she said she's a little superficial. So if you're a little superficial, you're going to attract the guy that is also superficial.
I told you I'm a little superficial.
Yes.
I said in the past I've been attracted
Maybe it
to
was
those shiny
superstitious.
things.
You did.
I see you can't admit little things here because then it becomes your whole being.
No,
and
it doesn't
that's
mean that's who you are today. I'm saying in your past experience. I'm just saying in your past experience.
Don't use my honesty against
It's hard
you.
not to
No,
be
not
you're
at
as
all.
attractive as you are because it's so easy to live from that position.
I dated the ugly guy.
I don't agree with that.
I dated the broke guy. I've dated the short guy. I've dated the guy with no money. I'm not that chick, you guys.
Yeah, I don't agree.
I've dated the part-time FedEx guy. I've done that.
Claudia, I don't believe that.
I'm not this.
Hold up. I don't.
just say the part-time FedEx guy.
And you know what? And he was my most amazing relationship.
Wow.
He was.
Part-time fetishes?
He was, and he was a good guy.
Full-time.
I just wanted to jump on what this gentleman said. I don't agree that it would be easy for you to be superficial, Claudia. I don't get that at all. In fact, I want to applaud your courage and your intellect.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm in this room with you, I feel great, not because you're gorgeous, and you are gorgeous.
Thank you for telling me that, too.
But I feel great because you really have smart stuff to say that I know is heartfelt and comes from deep within you. So I'm real clear on that part.
And it's
okay.
funny.
But
in a
now
room
I'm
full
going
of
to take my
comics.
opportunity to answer that question that you've asked.
Go ahead.
About can love get better? Does the attraction get stronger if you're together and you love each other in your relationship? I believe that my queen is gorgeous. She a bad, and I was attracted from the gorgeousness. I have to say that right now.
Nothing wrong
I
with
didn't see her, and hey, I was all nappy and shit, and I went, but she got something special going. No, I saw.
I wonder what her heart is like.
And she looked
Fuck outta here.
she looked good, but then I stopped and talked to her for like about 5 minutes. And once I talked to her, we had a real connection. I absolutely believe that when you love each other sincerely, then you continue to build that love and build that love to reach the highest possible nth of that love, and that's going to be for eternity. It's going to keep on getting better and better. You're going to keep on discovering more things about each other because you're going to keep on looking for more things that's wonderful and fabulous to celebrate
and
in
Michael,
this dance called love.
And Michael, you have to admit, in order to be in that space, you have to be in alignment with your authentic self.
Yes.
That's
because anything other than is diet love.
Meet her 20
Practice
years ago.
love.
Meet her 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, if you're not, if you ain't really loving you and embracing who you are,
Tim Alexander,
then you can't get the other one. You can't get the other one.
Tim,
You know,
we get what we reflect.
All of us make
So,
bad
I mean,
choices.
you could have, Michael, you could have walked into that room and just saw her beauty, and that was the end of that. But you decided to go deeper. It was a choice. So you attracted her to be open to talking to you.
Right. That's good stuff.
You know, all of us make bad choices, and we often short circuit our own needs because we look at our desires and they're more glitzy than our needs.
Right.
And sometimes we have to step off of what we feel we want or what we feel we deserve or what we feel something should be. And sometimes even things that don't feel like they work for us in the long term could once we get past ourselves. Because all of us have things that need work that in our own lives. Sometimes the very people that can do the work, we're uncomfortable with going through the process of the work that needs to be done.
Wow, good stuff.
And so sometimes the adversarial people are the obstacles that can be the very thing that could evolve us if we could make it through.
Got it. This is why I say there are no accidents in the universe and there are no bad choices. You're getting what you need in the moment.
When you need it.
And this is why whatever relationship you're in doesn't necessarily, most people step into a relationship believing that this is going to be the cornerstone, not knowing that it is just a stepping stone to the cornerstone. That stepping stone has a handoff for you. That's your curriculum to learn at that particular moment. That relationship has something for you in the now, not in the future.
And it's not always happiness and joy and feeling good.
No.
Because our life is an evolution of so much more than just the good parts.
Okay, so let me do
not
this.
Not man. Man about the love, the joy, and the happiness. And I'm thinking when you're living in, I'm joy walking. That's what I am. I am joy walking. You ain't never seen me and asked me how I'm doing. And I said I'm just all right. If you catch me and I'm just all right, give me some help. I wake up in the spirit and the light of joy. And that's what I carry with me everywhere I go. That's the only way I'm going to do it. I'm not doing that other dance where sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that. I'm not having that. That's not part of my reality.
You do radiate that every time I see you.
Yes, yes. And he's been doing that since the beach. That's why he's a star. So let me do this. We only got 5 minutes left. So what I want to do is a little round table where everybody is going to be. And first, to everybody on the panel, Claudia Jordan, Tim Alexander, Michael Collier, DT Linda Gross, Geoff Brown, Dr. Mark Goulston. I fucking love y'all. This is the purpose of the platform. We might disagree, we might misunderstand, but I believe that this is an inspirational movement. And I want to acknowledge Claudia's candor.
Yeah.
You know?
Can we do this? Can we do that?
Stop it, you guys. Make me uncomfortable.
Again.
Not necessary.
It's for me to irritate and put people on the hot spot.
You do a fine job of it.
And let me just say,
You're damn good at it.
And let me just say, only real people know how to respond.
That's right.
And she's one of them. So I appreciate you for doing that.
I'm okay, though.
She could have stomped her fine, rich ass out of here. She did.
Any point.
So let's do
okay,
this.
really.
We let me get to your Geoff Brown Twitter, Facebook, where you gonna be.
Okay, damn all that. Mixer.com. Go to Geoff Brown's ringtones. It's called Fresh Paper Ringtones. I got some ignorant shit for your phone. It's only 99 cents.
Wow, love it. Dr. Mark Goulston, where are you in the world? What are you doing?
Heartfelt leadership. Our mission is daring to care. It's a global community. It'll be like what TED is to the world, except it's heartfelt.
Wow. Claudia Jordan.
Twitter, Instagram, at Claudia Jordan. This Friday, I'll be participating in the roast of Dennis Rodman. I still need some more jokes in New York City.
That'll be easy.
And this Friday morning, I'll be on the Breakfast Club in New York. And Sunday, Celebrity Apprentice All-Stars Episode 3. Please tune in. And all the people on Twitter that tweeted for me to raise money for the Tom Joyner Foundation, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Nice.
DT, Linda Gross.
Thank you. My website is DT4M, the number 4M.com. Also the Twitter, DT4M. And you can Google my new book, The Caveman Formula, and it'll pop right up.
Absolutely. Michael Collier.
Tweet me at michaelcollier.com. You can go to my new webpage, therealmichaelcollier.com, which is COLYAR. We do a brand new comedy show here every Monday night at 8 p.m. at Maverick Flats, right in the hood on Crenshaw. Every Monday at 8 o'clock, come down, bring your mom and them, and keep looking for my documentary on the president called The Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the White House. I knocked on the door, and a brother answered.
Damn. Tim Alexander.
You can find me on Facebook, Tim Alexander, LA, the city I live in, and I'm currently working on Diary of a Tired Black Man 2, now even more tired.
This nigga real tired.
So
and of course,
this one's gonna take it there.
And of course, Zoe Williams. I'm on Instagram at Zoser Williams, Zoser Williams, at Zoser Williams. I'm on Twitter at Zoe Williams, Z-O Williams. Got a new book coming out, The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing when learning how to let go. It's a cold, it's a cold relationship book. Jesus. That's happening. We got new T-shirts coming, the Zoe What Morning Show T-shirts. There's a whole lot of things are happening, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We're going to keep it rolling. Appreciate you guys. See you next week for another riveting Zoe What Morning Show. Holla at you.
Holla. Beautiful.